Hello, everyone. Have you ever been fascinated by human engineering? I know I have. Take, for example, this the Boeing 747, according to Flight Deck Friend, can weigh up to 400,000 pounds and fly up to 38,000 feet. So, how can something so heavy be allowed to defy gravity and physics as we know it? Well, in reality, it's not defying physics and gravity, it's actually following the rules. It's generating something that we call lift. So, my name is James Chilton. I am a commercial pilot and I have studied how airplanes fly throughout all of my flight training. And today we will be talking about the force of lift and the two principles that allow us to understand the force of lift, that being Newton's third law and Bernoulli's principle. So, first, let's talk about lift. NASA states that lift is the force that opposes gravity on an airplane and will allow it to suspend in the air while flying. Also, according to the National Aviation Academy, lift is generated in the shape of an airfoil. So you need an airfoil to generate lift. And what an airfoil is the wing. The wing is in a shape of an airfoil, which means that the bottom of the wing is going to be flat and the top of the wing is going to have a little bit of curvature to it on an airplane. And again, the airplane's wings are what's used to generate lift, so that's why they are in the shape of an airfoil. So, how an airfoil works is, in simple terms, is that an airplane will be moving through the air, and air will be moving above the wing and below the wing, and that movement of air is going to generate the lifting force. So, how does it generate the lifting force? Well, we need to understand two scientific principles: Bernoulli's principle and Newton's third law. So, let's talk about Newton's third law first. According to Physics Classroom, Newton's third law states that every force has an opposite and equal force. And according to the Science Learning Hub, they state that when an airplane is pitched upwards, like so, air will come and hit the bottom of the wing. When the air hits the bottom of the wing, it is deflected downwards by the wing. And as we've talked about, since Newton's third law states every force has an opposite and equal force, that opposite force from the air being deflected downwards would be that the wing is deflected upwards. And the wing's deflected upwards, that's the force that we call lift. It's lifting the airplane. So that's one way an airplane can generate lift. Another scientific principle that is used to understand the concept of lift is Bernoulli's principle. Now, Khan's Academy states that Bernoulli's principle is a principle that is comparing a fluid, aka the air's speed, to the pressure. So, Bernoulli's principle states that when a fluid, in this case the air again, when it speeds up, it's going to create a lower pressure than if it was remained at its original speed. So, how a wing utilizes Bernoulli's principle is that we talked about the shape of an airfoil. Since the top is curved, the air above the wing has to travel a further distance than the air below the wing in the same amount of time. Since the distance is greater than the bottom of the wing, that means the air above the wing will have to speed up to meet the air at the back of the wing at the same amount of time as the air from the bottom. So, basically what this is saying is that the air above the wing is sped up while the air below the wing is at a constant rate. Since that air below is at a constant rate and the air above is sped up, that means the pressure above the wing is going to generate a lower pressure than the pressure below the wing. And we know that in nature, everything likes to be balanced. We don't like to have a high and low pressure. If there is a high pressure, that high pressure wants to move towards the low pressure area so everything can balance out and be an equal pressure. Same thing here. That high pressure is going to want to move to the top of the wing because that's where the low pressure is at, so that it can balance out. So what happens is that air tries to move upward, but we have the wing in the way. So it actually just lifts that wing upward because it can't get around the wing. It can't go through the wing to get to that low pressure state to balance out. So how Bernoulli's principle works, again, just as a recap, is that air is sped up above, which creates a low pressure, and the high pressure air below the wing wants to move to that low pressure, but can't because the wing is in the way, so the wing is forced upwards by that high pressure air. So, in summary, a wing is an airfoil, and it is used to generate the force of lift, which is what allows an airplane to fly. The two principles are Newton's third law, which talks about how a wing will deflect air downwards, which will push the wing upwards, and also Bernoulli's principle, where the wing will speed up the air above, slow the air down below, which will create a pressure difference, which will allow the wing to be lifted upwards because the air below is trying to balance out the pressure of the air above. Thank you for listening. Have a good one.